Right beneath the weathered wooden gate, 8 bodies swayed gently in the cold desert wind. Their feet were bound to a heavy beam, their long black hair hanging like curtains that fluttered with every breath of the night. They were 8 Apache girls, bruised, battered, and barely alive. Jackson Hale leapt off his horse the moment he saw them. His heart hammered so hard he thought his ribs might crack. One by one, he cut them down, catching their limp bodies in arms that trembled with anger. No one deserved this. Not in any land. Not in any lifetime. Inside his small wooden cabin, the firelight flickered across their exhausted faces. Jackson laid out blankets and heated water, using herbs he had learned to rely on during years of wandering. He wasn't a healer, but survival had taught him enough. The first awake was a girl with sharp eyes and hair down to her waist, Arya. Her voice was hoarse. "You are not with the Derringers." Jackson let out a dry laugh. "If I were, you wouldn't be speaking to me." Arya scanned the room and saw her sisters covered, warmed, and bandaged. She touched the cloth on her wrist and gave him a small Apache nod of gratitude. Lra, another sister with clear, unwavering eyes, sat up slowly. "Why did you save us?" Jackson stared into the fire. "Because some things you just can't walk past." Their expressions softened, though pain still lived in their eyes. Arya took a slow breath. "This ranch, it was never yours. It is our father's land. Sacred land." Jackson felt something in his chest shift, like a man hearing that the house he spent his life building was raised on someone else's grave. Lra continued, voice trembling. "The Derringers came 10 years ago. They wanted the underground spring, the only water that keeps this land alive. When our father refused, they killed our tribe. All of them. Except the 8 of us." Each of the girls carried a piece of the spring's map, split by their father before he died. The Derringers had tried to wipe them out, but the missing map pieces had kept them alive. "But why leave you hanging at my gate?" Jackson asked. Arya met his eyes. "To draw someone out. Anyone. The Derringers wanted whoever came to save us." Jackson felt cold creep through him. He hadn't stumbled into danger, he had stepped into a blood feud. The youngest sister, Nima, whispered, "If you free us, you can still escape before they return." Jackson walked to the window. The dark felt heavier than usual. He replied softly, "If this land belongs to you, I'm not leaving you behind on it." That night, the sisters slept while Jackson sat with a rifle across his knees. A sudden echo of hooves broke the silence. A lone rider stopped at the gate. Vandrich Boone. He sat tall on his horse, long black coat trailing, a rope coiled at his saddle. His voice rang out, calm, dangerous. "Jackson Hale. You touched what belongs to the Derringers." "All I saw were 8 people hung like animals," Jackson answered. "I cut them down." "You should have let them die," Boone replied, voice cold. "Would have been easier on everyone." Jackson met his gaze. "You're not getting them back." Boone's composure cracked. "Those girls carry pieces of our map. That spring, this valley, it all belongs to my family. Hand them over." "No." A moment of dead silence passed. Then Boone straightened. "Tonight I came alone. Tomorrow, I come with the gang. And there will be no more talking." He galloped off, leaving only dust and a promise of blood behind. Inside, the sisters watched Jackson with mixed terror and hope. Arya said, "You still have time to leave." Jackson shut the curtain. "I didn't buy land. I bought a war." The night grew unnaturally quiet. Arya stepped beside him. "Boone never waits till morning. He'll come tonight." She was right. Around midnight, smoke drifted on the wind. The barn behind the cabin glowed with fire. Jackson lunged for the door, but Lra grabbed him. "It's a trap." Together, They ran behind the barn and beat back the flames. A horse screamed in the distance. Paha raced to the gate and fell to her knees. Jackson's horse was dead, ripped apart, reins shredded. A message. You will stay. And you will die. Inside the cabin, the sisters huddled close. Fear clung to the room, but something else emerged too, a fragile bond. A rock hit the window. A note wrapped around it read. Tomorrow we take the people. We take the land. Anyone who resists gets buried. Jackson burned the note in the fire. From now on, he said, no one here is alone. At dawn, a different rider arrived, a middle-aged man with silver hair and a faded badge. Marshal Rovin Pike. He handed Jackson a bundle of scorched files documenting 8 years of Daringer crimes, murder, land theft, burned reservations. If the sisters testify, Pike said, we can destroy the Daringers for good. But they'll kill us before we reach a courtroom, Miresu whispered. Pike nodded. I won't lie. They're coming to finish what they started. Jackson asked, so what do we do? We hold the line, Pike said. Survive until backup arrives. The rest of the day was spent preparing. The sisters placed traps, repaired walls, and built barricades. Pike fortified the yard. Jackson walked the land, realizing the girls had survived so long because they were stronger than most grown men he'd known. When night fell, Arya sat beside him. If we don't make it. Jackson cut her off. We will. All of us. Arya smiled, the first time since he met her. Just before dawn, the earth trembled. Horses. Dozens. Arya whispered from the barn loft, they're here. A crescent of riders emerged from the dark. Boone led them. Jackson hail, he shouted. You've run out of road. I'm not running, Jackson replied. Boone's laughter rang across the sand. Then I'll take your life. He raised his arm. The first shot exploded. Tala and Nima triggered their traps. LRA's arrows knocked torches from hands. Pike's gunfire pinned riders behind brush. Soy and Yara sprung sand traps that blinded attackers. Jackson charged forward into the chaos, because the fight for his land had become a fight for their lives. And the dawn battle for the Sacred Valley had finally begun.